Nigerians. The Vice President made this assurance during the closing ceremony of the 23rd edition of the Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning held in Lafia, Nasarawa State capital. Our correspondent in Nasarawa State now reports.
The three-day event themed the state of the Nigerian economy, challenges, options, and opportunities, focused on finding strategic and practical solutions to address the country's economic difficulties. Representing the Vice President, Special Advisor on Economic Affairs, Mr. Tokwe Fashua, reiterated that President Bola Tinubu's administration is dedicated to revitalizing the economy and rebuilding trust among Nigerian citizens.
The National Council on Development Planning, as the highest advisory body on development planning in the country, has a critical role to play in shaping the nation. It is essential that we seize this moment to chart a bold course for national economy or Nigeria's economic future, focusing on policies that promote sustainable growth, empowerment of our youth, and uplifting of the standards of living of all Nigerians. Let me end by reiterating my confidence in the ability to overcome the present challenges. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and through the renewal of agenda, we are charting a path towards prosperous and resilient Nigeria. I encourage all of us here today to contribute our best ideas and commitment to advancing the collective interest of our beloved nation.
Nasarawa State Governor Engineer Abdullahi Sule commended the organizers for selecting Nasarawa as the host and stressed the importance of implementing the event's recommendations promptly to achieve meaningful results.
This meeting therefore is focused on planning for growth and development, and we are happy that it attracted the presence, even though in representation of the Vice President. I believe that the presence of Mr. Vice President and his contribution on this team will further strengthen our planning at both national and sub-national. I therefore request that the resolutions to be arrived at the end of this meeting will be backed by realistic implementation strategies in our collective commitment to turn around the fortunes of the state.
Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, highlighted the administration's transformational agenda, expressing its determination to steer the country out of economic recession.
While transformational and innovative programs have been introduced, the challenges occasioned by the reforms, which are temporary increases in food prices, among others, energy transport costs, are being ameliorated by intervention programs, both directly in terms of food, supporting food delivery to vulnerable population and to the wider population so as to lower, and supporting production. And luckily we are seeing remarkable increase and optimism that the harvest season, wet season harvest, will do much better and will consolidate, as well as the CNG program, which is designed to provide cheaper energy. Most often when people are talking about energy prices and energy issue in Nigeria, they're just talking about removal of subsidy. But a more revolutionary and transformational thing that is being undertaken is the introduction and investing aggressively in CNG penetration.
The event was attended by Commissioners of Finance, Budget and Planning, along with permanent secretaries from all 36 states, as well as key stakeholders in the economic sector. Mary Ojiji, ADBN News.
President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, says he believes that Nigeria National Petroleum Limited will no longer import petroleum products. He stated that increased availability of products will lead to lower prices, expressing optimism that as the market stabilizes, especially with more supply from Dangote Refinery and other sources, prices may eventually reduce. Senator Akpabio was speaking during the commissioning of the new press center for Senate correspondents at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Our correspondent, Asam Rafo, has details.
The President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, explained that the removal of subsidy means that consumers will pay the actual market price for petrol, which may initially feel like an increase. Senator Akpabio urged the public not to focus solely on the price hike, assuring them that the Senate will evaluate the situation and take action if necessary.
I haven't actually assessed what is happening in terms of pump price increase, but it's not pump price increase, it's deregulation. If you are taking away the continuous subsidy and then you want people to pay for the actual price of what we consume, it means if you have 5 cars, you will now use 1 or 2. You understand? It simply means that you are going to stop the idea of subsidy in order to make sure that the monies are used for other things. So I don't expect any increase in pump price. I will expect the market forces to determine. And I will expect that now that the NNPCL is no longer going to bring petroleum products into the country, it means those who have the capacity will bring. And you know, the more the product is available, the cheaper the price. So at the beginning, it might look as if there is increase, but I believe strongly that in the next, with the production from Dangote and then the other refineries when they become functional, and the fact that it is now open to all to bring in good products into the country, I can assure you that we may not even see pump prices. So please let's not dwell on it about the increase in pump price. We will assess it, and if there is need for us to intervene, we will do so.
He re-echoed the 10th Senate's preparedness to change the narratives and ensure robust legislation that will impact positively on the lives of the people.
I want you to know that there is no point you're leaving. There is no point offering services to Nigeria if we are not prepared to improve on the lot of Nigerians. The 10th Senate is very prepared to change the paradigm and ensure that the future of Nigeria is better than what it is today. I pledge before you that working collectively will make legislations and the right motions and intervene where necessary to build a better future for all Nigerian children, those born and yet unborn.
On the commissioning of the Senate Press Center, he encouraged journalists to deliver accurate and constructive information, stressing the vital role of the media in shaping country's future. Osam Raffle, ADBN News.
In another development, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, expressed his support for the Methodist Church, commending its dedication in praying for the nation. He made this commitment during a court visit from the church, led by Prelate Dr. Oliver Ali Abba, who paid a court visit on him to invite him to the 40th anniversary celebration of the Abuja Diocese of the Methodist Church. Our correspondent, Osam Raffle, also has details.
Addressing the delegation, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, credited his successful contributions to the development of Akwa Ibom State and the nation to God's guidance. Senator Akpabio congratulated the Methodist Church on its 40 years of presence in Abuja and 182 years in Nigeria.
A lot of Nigerians and the world over are not aware that the only reason why God created man was for man to reference and worship God. God did not create us to go for positions, to go for wealth. All those things are vanity. The most important thing is your spiritual upliftment. The need for you to know the reason why you were created. Oh, I'm sorry, my Lord, Your Eminence, so that I don't make the mistake of preaching to the converted. I don't want to be more Catholic than the Pope. So, this is what you should say to me. But I'm saying it. And it was that God that enabled me in my state to make my modest contributions to Nigerians. So much so that the world came to know it as uncommon transformation. It will take a while for anybody to beat that record.
The prelate of the Methodist Church, His Eminence Oliver Abba, commended Senator Akpabio for his genuine love and dedication to the church. Meanwhile, the Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Michael Akinwale, celebrated Senator Akpabio's remarkable legacy, emphasizing the transformative impact he has had.
We are here too to wish you the best, because If you succeed, Nigeria have succeeded. And if Nigeria have succeeded, we believe that the world is already succeeding, because Nigeria society or nation has a pride of place in the world economy because of our population. So we have a pride of place in the map of the world. And I pray that, yes, knowing what you are known for, your pedigree in the leadership before now, we all saw it. The whole Nigeria and worldwide saw it. And so what we can do is to ask God to strengthen you to do more, so that Nigeria can have what they call the dividend of democracy.
The Methodist Church Nigeria is the first church in Nigeria. This church came into this country on the 24th of September, 1842. The Methodist Church is 182 years old in Nigeria. And there is no way we can be writing the history of this country without mentioning the Methodist Church.
Senator Akpabio prayed for God's guidance for the prelate and the church, encouraging them to continue praying for country's unity, peace, progress, and development. Osam Raffle, ADBN News.
In the meantime, the Senate has officially confirmed Professor Abdullahi Usman as the chairman of the Hajj Commission. The confirmation of Professor Usman's nomination followed the consideration and adoption of the report of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, chaired by Senator Abubakar Bello on Thursday. Senator Bello, in his report following the screening conducted by his committee, said that Professor Usman merited being appointed to head the nation's apex Hajj body.
The committee, having carefully and thoroughly screened the nominee, and it is satisfied with his qualifications, exposure, conduct, character, experiences, and general performances. The nominee has displayed wide and in-depth knowledge of Hajj activities and operations. Therefore, the committee recommends as follows: that the Senate do confirm the nomination of Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman for appointment as chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. We so move.
The confirmation was finalized with a supportive voice vote led by the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio.
Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate confirm the nomination of Professor Abdullahi Saleh for appointment as chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Professor Abdullahi Saleh is hereby confirmed as chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria.
With this new role, Professor Usman is set to enhance Nigeria's Hajj management and services. Ahead of the 2024 International Day of the Girl Child, scheduled for Friday, the 11th of October, House of Representatives asked National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the National Orientation Agency, alongside other stakeholders, to collaborate with schools, community organizations, and religious institutions to educate the public on drug abuse, dangers, promote a drug-free lifestyle, and make provisions for rehabilitation. The House wants Federal Ministry of Education to devise practical ways, such as implementing mobile education units or community outreach programs to curb out-of-school girls across the 36 states of the Federation.
The House is worried about this disheartening high number of out-of-school girls engaged in drug abuse as well. Current data indicates that Nigeria has an estimated 10.5 million girls that are out of school who are also users of hard drugs. The House is worried that the presence of such a vast number of uneducated youth not only jeopardizes their future, but also poses a threat to the nation's security and socioeconomic stability. If deliberate efforts are not taken to address the challenges and be intentional to protect the girl child, the country will be at risk of raising dysfunctional mothers who are meant to protect the home, society, and the future.
The Green Chamber also held special sessions for the girl child, with the Speaker stepping aside briefly for Ms. Isabel Anani, a young girl, to preside over plenary as a way of encouraging the girl child.
Gender-inclusive budgeting and gender-inclusive policies should be made for girls to empower and protect them in making sure that they maximize their full potential. Safe schooling is very important because there's simply nothing for girls if she cannot have the education because she lives in constant fear. Sanitary pads and hygiene products should be made available, and they should be made as cheap as they can be. In order for us to continue at the steady progression that we have so rightfully ascertained, we mustn't just provide her a seat at the table. Finally, I congratulate all the women in parliament that have pushed through and broken stereotypes. Girls around Nigeria aspire to be like you. And to all the he for she's who uplift the girls they know and to continue striving, we see your efforts.
Away from that, Nigerian military has confirmed the elimination of a notorious terrorist leader known as Mai Hajabi and his combatants terrorizing communities in Taraba State on the battlefield this week. Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, confirmed this during the bi-weekly media briefing with defense correspondents at Defense Headquarters in Abuja. ADBN correspondent Fumilola Adeyemi has details.
Armed Forces of Nigeria has continued to intensify its war effort through mobilization of lethal forces and airstrikes on terrorists. Director Defense Media Operation, Major General Edward Buba, explained that troops understand the importance of momentum and are therefore taking the fight to terrorists.
Our operations have destroyed a substantial part of the combat capabilities and capacity of the terrorists, particularly their leadership. Importantly, we are increasingly making significant strides and progress through our operations across the country. For instance, another notorious terrorist leader was eliminated on the battlefield during the week. He was known as Mai Hijabi. He and his combatants terrorized communities in Taraba State, and we have now made him history. The same fate awaits several other terrorist leaders and their commanders, as from this platform, sooner than later, we will be announcing that they've been taken off the battlefield.
General Buba stressed that the military is not oblivious of some security challenges faced by citizens in certain quota and are reassessing operation in those areas to better secure and protect citizens.
Accordingly, we are reassessing and making necessary adjustments in our operations to ensure peace and security for all citizens across the country. Overall, there is no greater prize than for us as a force to be ready to lay down our lives to secure our nation and our citizens. We have done it in the past, we are doing it now, and we shall continue to do it in the future.
Director Defense Media Operation appealed to residents to support the military with timely and credible information in order to strengthen the fight against insurgency. Fumilola Adeyemi, ADBN News.
And now to health matters. It has been asserted that about 790 million people globally are affected by mental health issues. Well, psychiatric experts and Director of Health at Usman Danfodio Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, Professor Mufta Yunusa, revealed this during a public lecture marking World Mental Health Day 2024, organized by Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Kware. This staggering number highlights the pressing need to address mental health concerns. ADBN Northwest correspondent Lawal Aliyu has more.
Professor Yunusa emphasized that many individuals are unaware of their mental health struggles, underscoring the importance of prioritizing well-being to achieve mental stability and enjoy life. He said, tragically, mental health issues have claimed numerous lives, hence the need to combat.
They may not spend much on mental health because they don't want to be mentally healthy. Because we are mentally healthy, these companies will go down. And that's why it's important for us as individuals, as employers and employees to focus attention on mental health of our business.
Dr. Abdullahi Suleiman, in his welcome address, stressed the significance of this year's theme, noting that its importance cannot be overstated.
I know if the mental health has problems, it will affect productivity. It will affect so many things in the workplace. And you might be working with somebody, you don't know what is passing through. You might not say he's found wanting, but if you probe very well, you discover that he has an underlying mental problem.
Also speaking, Chief Medical Director of Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Kware, Professor Shehu Saleh, emphasized the relevance of prioritizing mental health in the workplace to foster a healthy work environment.
We know impaired mental health can affect your physical health and can affect your performance and your output at work. And then difficulties at work, issues at work too. Problems with your boss, problems with your superiors can also impact negatively on your mental health.
Professor Saleh urged individuals to maintain a healthy lifestyle, recognizing the interconnectedness of physical and mental well-being. Sokoto State Commissioner of Health, Hajia Asabe Balarabe, represented by Dr. Adamu Ibrahim, pledged to collaborate with any organization that shares the vision of enhancing the health and well-being of state residents, emphasizing the importance of teamwork in achieving this goal.
The Ministry of Health is always and will ever be ready to collaborate in the subsequent programs of this nature. The issue of mental health, we all agree that is something that we can't run away from now. Looking at the realities of the country now.
According to psychiatric expert Muftahu Yunusa, globally, mental health conditions affect approximately 1 in 8 people worldwide, with anxiety and depressive disorder being the most common. From Sokoto, Lawal Aliyu, ADBN News.
You're watching ADBN News at 7. Watch us on DSTV channel 258, on Star Times channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. Stay with us for more stories after this break.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, If you're ready to master the market, tune in to Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager and the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. You're watching ADBN News at 7. Economic Community of West African States Committee on Food and Cultural Festival has commended Akwa Ibom State Government for providing a peaceful environment for businesses to thrive. Director General of the Food and Cultural Festival Committee, Ambassador Felix Ihora, during a familiarization tour to Passion FM Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, said the peaceful and conducive environments were key factors in their choice to host the festival in the state. He expressed satisfaction with the hospitality and tranquility they experienced throughout their stay.
The essence of choosing Akwa Ibom State was because of its relative peace. Akwa Ibom State has maintained sustainable relative peace for a decade while now in records, before even talking of bringing this program here. And secondly, Akwa Ibom State is an agrarian state with various kind of delicacies, with various kind of agricultural settlements that are useful and that can be developed for a mechanized agricultural system.
Ambassador Ihora commended Passion FM and Advocate Broadcasting Network for their tenacity and excellence in information dissemination.
The ECOWAS Food and Cultural Festival delegation to this venue of the Advocate Broadcast Network today. We wish to thank the network of being able to host us, of being able to accommodate us as part of their visitors to the state. I will advise every Nigerian, every ECOWAS member states to see Advocate Broadcast Network as one of their television and radio stations.
General Manager, Passion FM, Mr. Ikechukwu Jue, emphasized the importance of prioritizing ADBN and Passion FM media outlets as a primary channel of communication and outreach.
We are the pride of Akwa Ibom. I mean, you can't come to Akwa Ibom State and you don't know Advocate Broadcasting Network. Operators and owners of Advocate Broadcasting Television, 258 on DSTV, 140 on Star Times, and by extension Passion 94.5 FM. So I thank this ECOWAS delegation for choosing Advocate Broadcasting Network, and we hope that when next you come to town, you visit us again. So thank you for coming.
High points of the visit was the conferment of Ambassador of the organization on Mr. Ikechukwu Jue. The 8th Legislative Council of Esenudum Local Government Area has been inaugurated in a ceremony that saw the presence of key stakeholders and leaders in the local government. The event marks a new chapter in the administration of Esenudum with a renewed commitment to fulfilling the promises made to the people. At the heart of this ceremony was the local government chairman, Honorable Ntiedo Effiong Usoro, who expressed appreciation to the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Moino, for his unwavering support towards the development of Esenudum. He also extended gratitude to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, for his guardians and continued advocacy for the region. Earlier, in a welcome address, Honorable Usoro further reiterated his administration's commitment to working closely with state governments to fulfill the mandate of the governor, especially in areas of infrastructural development, healthcare, and youth empowerment. The newly inaugurated Legislative Council members also pledged to work in synergy with the executive arm of the local government to enact policies and laws that will promote the socio-economic growth of the area. The people of Asianudum can now look forward to a new era of development and progress as the council embarks on its journey to serve the community. And now to Bayelsa State, Nigerian Navy has extended the Operation Delta Sanity exercise further by 90 days. The Central Naval Command made this known in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, while reeling out its achievements under the Operation Delta Sanity. ADBN Nada Delta correspondent completes the report.
Since the launch of the exercise, Operation Delta Sanity, in January this year, the tremendous progress recorded thus far may be one of the reasons it was extended a further 90 days upon the expiration of the exercise. This extension has already happened twice, on April 10th and July 10th, with an additional 90 days. Rear Admiral Samson Bura, the flag officer commanding Central Naval Command, highlighted the success of the Operation Delta Sanity 3.
Since the extension in July 2024, a total of 55 suspects have been arrested, while 124 illegal refining sites were deactivated in accordance with extant regulations. Furthermore, a total of 116 wooden boats and 543 dugout pits and 64 storage tanks were deactivated, while 6 vessels were arrested. Additionally, several items and equipment used in the construction of illegal refineries were seized.
The nation's oil production has increased as a result of these accomplishments. As of June 2024, the production stood at 1.7 million barrels per day, up from 1.3 million barrels per day.
Based on these achievements and successes recorded so far, the Chief of the Naval Staff has graciously approved the extension of Operation Delta Sanity for another 90 days, with effect from today, 10th October 2024. These efforts will be sustained to ensure zero tolerance of crude oil theft in the nation's maritime environment.
Despite the fact that the oil theft reduction indices are improving, the Nigerian Navy has called for more collaboration with key players in the Niger Delta region. Tobozi Bayarit, ADBN News.
You're still watching ADBN News at 7. Watch us on DSTV, channel 258, on StarTimes, channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. More stories to come after this break.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and when we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
And now to report on the foreign scene, Florida is grappling with the aftermath of Hurricane Milton, which struck the state with devastating force, leaving at least 16 people dead. The powerful storm, considered the fifth most intense Atlantic hurricane on record, has caused widespread flooding, downed trees, and power outages across various communities. Cleanup efforts have begun, but for many, the recovery process could take weeks or even months. Although Milton did not generate the catastrophic seawater surge that many feared, particularly in areas recently hit by Hurricane Helene, the storm has caused significant damage. Residents like Chase Pierce of St. Petersburg witnessed the ferocity of the storm firsthand, while analysts estimate that the damage from Milton could cost insurers up to $100 billion. The White House has blessed government efforts as officials continue to assess the full extent of the destruction. And to report from the Middle East, Israeli airstrikes killed 22 people yesterday and injured over 100 in Beirut, Lebanon, according to Lebanese authorities. The strikes targeted a densely populated residential area, resulting in significant casualties, including a family of 8 who had fled the southern parts of the country. Among the injured were 3 children. The latest attacks marks a significant escalation as Israel expands its focus from military commanders to senior political figures within Hezbollah. Senior Hezbollah official responsible for liaison with the Lebanese security forces, Wafa Sifa, narrowly survived an Israeli assassination attempt, while in southern Lebanon, 2 United Nations peacekeepers were injured when Israeli forces targeted a watchtower near the peacekeeping mission's headquarters, further heightening tensions. The Israeli military, while not commenting directly on the attempt to assassinate Safa, confirmed that it had killed Mohammed Abdallah, a leader of the Islamic Jihadist militant group in the Palestine refugee camp. And over to sports. Super Eagles captain William Troost-Ekong is leaving no stone unturned as his team prepares for today's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Libya in Uyo. The Eagles will host Libya at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium by 5 p.m. as both teams face off on match day 3 of the AFCON qualifiers. Ahead of the match, Troost-Ekong, who played a key role in the Eagles' 7-2 aggregate victory over Libya during the 2018 AFCON qualifiers, admitted he is not well acquainted with Libya's current squad, complicating their preparations. He emphasized that every match on the continent is tough, particularly against the unfamiliar Libyan side, but he assured fans that the players are ready to meet the challenge. England's interim manager Lee Carsley faced disappointment on Thursday night as his all-out attacking strategy resulted in a surprising 2-1 defeat against Greece in the UEFA Nations League. Vangelis Pavlidis scored both goals for Greece, while Jude Bellingham's strike in the 87th minute served only as a consolation for a lackluster English team. With injured captain Harry Kane sidelined, Carsley opted for an unconventional formation, positioning Bellingham as a false 9. This decision contributed to a disjointed and confused performance from the squad. While England will travel to Finland this weekend, where a victory is essential if they hope to secure promotion at the end of the competition. Well, that's it on ADBN News at 7. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258, on StarTimes channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. Not forgetting, you can watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to adbntv.com/live. Thanks for joining the news this morning. I am Ama Marcus. Do stay tuned for the continuation. Morning Express.
Well, welcome back from our news desk, and now to all the lineups to greet your screens this morning. Shortly, we'll be reviewing headline stories as published across the front pages. That will take us up to 9 o'clock, when it'll be time for our broader conversation as we look to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child. We'll have girl child advocates come into the studio to broaden the scope of the discussion on how we can better the lots of the girl child in society. And at 10 a.m., we'll hand over to our Uyo studios for more on the international break, where the Godswill Akpabio Stadium set to come to life later this evening as the Super Eagles take on Libya. And also to review some of the mistakes of England as they lost woefully. Now, this is about the size of our package this morning. We invite you to stay tuned and enjoy it as we get your weekend started up on a nice note. We'll be right back.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Prince Aita. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's the season.
I'm Miss Stems.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Essie Odometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sadiq Kovada.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN, keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah. Hey, Bobby.
Ha!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to Ona? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager and the bank executive, they are the one the government should best pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Well, thanks for staying with us on a Friday edition of our flagship program, Morning Express. It's about time to keep you updated with the headline stories as published on the various dailies. Be reminded that the headlines are read only as published according to the editorial guidelines and are not in any way a position of ADBN Television as regards issues in the news. Now, to start with, we have a dozen newspapers to look at this morning, and prominently captured are issues concerning the hike in the pump price of premium motor spirit, otherwise called petrol. Now, the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard, the Daily Times, and the Matrix have a similarity in these headlines. We'll take them one after the other. I'll go first, and then Chijoke would join in. Now, on the Punch newspaper, you'd find beneath the masthead the catchphrase, petrol price hike, as the headline reads, Ipman tackles NNPCL, threatens to stop operation. Marketers accuse NNPCL of inflating Dangote petrol price. Niman continues loading subsidized PMS. Now beneath that you'd have a prominent picture with the caption, Sanwo-Olu inspects ongoing 7-story New Mercy Children Hospital. Whilst the rider has 3 feature stories. Data, voice services fetch MTN Airtel 3.6 trillion naira. Lebanese jailed 14 years for sexually exploiting 2 teenage girls. Why military hasn't gone after Asari Dakubo, says the DHQ. And above the masthead are other stories that might interest you. Norgay threatens suit over governor's bill to control LG funds. 7 banks pay 392 billion naira tax, according to a report. Fubara heads to Supreme Court as appeal court affirms pro-Wike lawmakers.
Well, away from the Punch newspaper, let's pick up the Vanguard newspaper, which is the next paper on our lineup this morning, starting off with the catchphrase, petrol price hike. Nasima, PDP, Atiku, CSOs, others insist on reversal. Straplines say, hike will worsen plight of businesses and households, while PDP demands reversal of anti-people policies. Tinubu, undisturbed by hardship in Nigeria, says former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. JAF asks Labour to provide leadership for resistance. NNPP begs Tinubu to reverse hike as Senate is set to intervene, says Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio. NNPC has no powers to increase fuel price, Falana has revealed. And Dangote economical with truth over retail price. TUC urges government to create special forex scheme for Dangote refinery. Away from that, above the masthead, you'd find 3 stories of interest. My husband, not cause of current hardship, says Nigeria's First Lady Senator Remi Tinubu. Deny allocations to local governments where selections were done, Senate tells federal government. And police rescue 6 sports journalists from kidnapping. On the rider, save judiciary from collapse needs total overhauling, Clark writes CJN. And other 3 rider stories here say 3,650 inmates on death row nationwide. While in the Rivers Assembly crisis, appeal court affirms Amwawale as speaker. And in sports, in the AFCON 2025 qualifying games, don't undermine Libya. Sports Minister Eno warns Super Eagles.
Now, leaving the front page of the Vanguard and keeping with more newspapers this morning with similarities still as it concerns the fuel issue, you'd find a charge from the TUC to the federal government as headline on the Daily Times. Return fuel price to what it was in June 2023. Says there is no government in the world that does not intervene in its critical sector. Atiku slams Tinubu over hardship his policies, including petrol subsidy removal, has inflicted on Nigerians. Fixing petrol prices illegal against PIA, Falana tells NNPCL. And above the headline story, you'd find more on the fuel price hike as Nasima warns of economic fallout, industry closure. Pray for leaders even in spite of bad situation, Sultan cancels Nigerians. Lagos government to tackle sexual, gender-based violence perpetrated against persons with disabilities. On the rider, strike. Health workers issue 15-day ultimatum to FG. Say ultimatum necessitated by non-response of FG to plight of members. Disco's revenue hits 431.16 billion naira in Q2 2024 amid collection challenges.
Well, moving away from the Daily Times, let's pick up the Matrix newspaper. For the 3rd time in 2 months, the NNPC Limited has increased the price of PMS across the country. Now, there is outrage among stakeholders in the nation. And on the Matrix, we start off with the headline story that reads, more outrage trails fuel price hike. Straplines breed. Return petrol price to below what it was in June 2023. TUC urges federal government. Tinubu's haphazard, disingenuous approach to subsidy removal responsible for current hardship, Atiku blasts. Falana bombs NNPC Limited, says it's illegal to fix petrol prices against PIA. Now above the masthead, numbers of meters installed by NERC decreased by 60% in second quarter of 2024. And beneath the masthead, Rivers crisis again call words in. Says happenings in Rivers dangerous without peaceful negotiation. It can't end well. While appeal court sets aside Rivers 2024 budget passed by Edison Ehi Group. We did not deny access to election materials in Edo State, INEC has claimed. Don't blame my husband for economic hardship, Senator Oluremi Tinubu tells Nigerians. Now, a picture of prominence here is that of Vice President Kashim Shettima in a warm handshake with outgoing ambassador of Japan to Nigeria, Mr. Matsunaga Kazuyoshi, during a recent courtesy visit at the presidential villa in Abuja. And feature stories inserted to the right of that picture. Nigeria's pension assets surged to 21 trillion naira as court dismisses man's suit against electricity tariff hike. Members of the House of Representatives demand review of tax laws to unburden Nigerians. These are the many stories you'll find on the Matrix newspaper.
Now, in keeping with more stories captured on the front pages this morning, marketers in the petroleum sector are pointing finger at a 15 billion naira debt owed by the NNPCL as part of the threats to disruptions in the fuel supply chain. Let's pick up the Nigerian News Direct together to look at this headline story and other feature stories on the front page. You'll find as lead story, 15 billion naira debt owed by NNPCL Limited threatens fuel supply. Marketers lament, indicts NNPC Limited of inflating fuel price. Besides that, you'd find feature stories. First Lady donates 1 billion naira to OAU as Oni names building after her. Wike's faction triumphs as court upholds Amwehule as river speaker. New Mercy Children's Hospital would last centuries, says Governor Sanwo-Olu. And on the rider, Dangote mulls crude deal, cement production with Caribbean countries.
Well, in a refutal claim, First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu has said that her husband, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is not responsible for the hardship in the country. This statement is captured on the front page of the Standard Times newspaper. Now, as it greets your screen, I will take that story as well as other stories making rounds in the news. On the front page of the Standard Times Nigeria, you'd find the headline story there, My Husband, Not Cause of Hardship in Nigeria, Remi Tinubu says. Now, away from that, above the masthead, Sterling Bank emerges as leading MSME supporter at 2024 Finance Awards. Court orders hindering anti-corruption fight, Kako has said. On the rider, police rescues 6 sports journalists kidnapped in Anambra while traveling to Uyo. Ondo police parades 11 suspects as man 34 stabs friend to death over 2,000 naira debt. Hardship on the Tinubu government fueling mental health problems, says Peter Obi. More hardship looms as court strikes out suit challenging electricity tariff. NCC announces completion of SIM-NIN linkage, while appeal court didn't reinstate Amawale, 26 others, Rivers government. While on the bottom there, you'd find PAP office, not part of Yenagoa dialogue, will never condone trading vocational training for money, officials have retorted.
Now, in keeping with more newspapers greeting our discourse this morning, the opposition is replying calls from Her Excellency the First Lady on the position of Mr. Preston's policy in correlation to the current economic hardship. The lead story as seen on the Daily Independent this morning speaks to that. On the Daily Independent, you'd find beneath the masthead, signs of anarchy everywhere in Nigeria. PDP Board of Trustee warns, asks Tinubu to review policies to check widespread hardship. Nigeria is sinking deeper under President Tinubu. CUPP laments. My husband, not cause of hardship, says Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Now, whilst the rider has the story, Senate says LG elections conducted in violation of democratic tenets. Feature stories on the front page, Tinubu too much in a haste to exit fuel subsidy, says TUC. Suggests creation of special forex scheme for Dangote refinery. Rep seeks tax policy overhaul to ease burden on citizens. Again, court rejects bid to stop Kanu local government elections. Health workers threaten strike, issue 15-day ultimatum to FG. Police rescue kidnapped sports journalist in Anambra. Whilst on the header, appeal court upholds ruling nullifying Rivers 2024 budget passed by pro-Fubara lawmakers. Again, stakeholders urge INEC to review results of Edo Guber poll.
Now, in a very blatant threat to the Nigerian military to shoot down military choppers, the defense headquarters has cautioned ex-militant leader Asari Dokubo against undermining military's might in the country. Now, this story is captured on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Let's pick it up together, shall we, and see what the story there looks like. Now, on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper, you'd find the headline story. DHQ dares Asari Dokubo. Come and witness military might at battle. Straplines say they dismissed the ex-militants' threat to down troops' helicopters. 165 terrorists killed, 238 others arrested in 1 week, says military spokesperson Buba. While Brigadier General Sadiq faces court-martial over palliatives. Above the masthead, NNPCL recommits to lasting peace and prosperity in the Niger Delta. And beneath the masthead, Remi Tinubu donates 1 billion naira to OAU to address infrastructure. In business, fuel price hike could impact businesses negatively, Nasima warns. And leading up to AFCON 2025, Nigeria denies maltreating Libya. Following the internal crisis rocking Rivers State, appeal court returns pro-Wike lawmakers, voids Fubara's 2024 budget. Now, prominently inserted on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper is a picture of Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Dr. Tokwe Fasua, Nasarawa State Deputy Governor Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State, and Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, and Chairman, Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Professor Taiwo Oyedele, during the closing of the Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning meetings in Lafia on Thursday. Rider story here says Northwest, Northeast on the brink of out-of-school children, according to Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima, saying KB, Zamfara, Jigawa, and Bauchi worst hit. Elsewhere, police nabbed 3 suspects for allegedly gang raping 15-year-old. And death penalty doesn't make societies safer, says the EU. Zamfara disengages 109 contract teachers to recruit 2,000 others. While Senate confirms Saleh as NARCON chair, Lawal, NSIPA coordinator.
Now, and moving away from the Blueprint, let's accommodate the Guardian newspaper this morning, whose editorial looks at the EFCC in terms of its preference for sacred cows, so to say. The headline story reads with the catchphrase, War Against Corruption, where anti-graft eagle turns a blind eye to sacred cows. You have the caricature depicting the story in question. Next to which you'd find my husband not greedy, working for better future. Comments by the First Lady. TUC others knock Tinubu over handling of fuel subsidy. Shettima, Kalu, Abiodun decry rising population of uneducated kids, urge action. Don't dare military, Defense HQ warns Asari Dokubo. Reps kick against multiple tax burdens on Nigerians.
Now let's pick up our next paper on the lineup, the Nation newspaper, where the appellate court has dismissed Governor Fubara's case, directing the 2024 budget to Amaule. Now, as it greets your screen, I will take the headline story as well as other stories on the front cover of the Nation newspaper. Starting off with the headline story, Court, Fubara must take budget 2024 to Amaule-led House. Now, this is the headline story you'd find there. The strap lines read, Court of Appeal dismisses governor's case. Rivers heads full Supreme Court. above the masthead. At 90, I'm prepared for death, says Professor Wole Soyinka. And 125 CNG conversion centers activated across states in the country. Lagos Red Rail Line begins commercial operations Tuesday, while Makinde Tunji Oke in Ayedatiwa Campaign Council. 65 illegal refineries destroyed in 1 week, while bank customers lament disruptions. These are the stories you'd find beneath the masthead. Now on the rider, marketers sell petrol at different prices in deregulated market. How to make products accessible and affordable. A statement by the Trade Union Congress. And inserted here is a picture of Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu inspecting the 7-story Marseille Street Pediatric Hospital under construction at Adeniji Adele, Lagos Island yesterday. With him, Health Commissioner Professor Akin Abayomi and Special Advisor for Works Olufemi Daramola in Lagos State.
And concluding an overview of the newspapers this morning, let's also pick up the business day as we conclude on this segment. And on the business day this morning, you'd find the headline story: From Blackboard to Smartboard, Tech Redefining Nigeria's Learning System. Feature stories beside that read: Banks IT upgrades give customers unexpected headaches. Pension assets grow to 21 trillion naira on compliance. Nigerians spend $10 billion annually on petrol generator maintenance, says report. FG borrows $6.45 billion from Wema Bank in 16 months. These are the stories of prominence as captured by the headlines this morning. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll be joined by in-house analysts as we invite you to lend your thoughts, comments, and opinions, which you can do by joining our online streams on our YouTube page at ADBN TV and on our webpage on www.adbntv.com/live. Remember to keep your comments objective and refrain from using inciting or inflammatory statements when you join the conversation. Do well to stay with us.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Step into the heartbeat of the world, where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world's unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Well, thanks for staying with us on the program this morning. Just to reiterate some of the prominent stories in the news and get broader perspectives as we discuss critical issues in national interest, and particularly one issue affecting a majority of Nigerians, is the hike in the price template for PMS. Now, whilst the government of the day has been very open about its need to transition to cleaner energy using compressed natural gas as one of the solutions, Nigerians have witnessed another increase in the pump price of PMS. Now, for cities like Abuja, 1,030 naira, while for cities like Lagos, 998 naira per litre. And like we know in the country, it takes an astronomical effect on the prices of transportation, the prices of goods in the market, and generally the cost of living. Now, in line with some of the papers you read this morning, calls from the opposition, PDP, Ipman, CSO, Nasima, everyone urging the federal government to reverse the prices. It's challenging to see that it remains one of those pressing issues as to how these unions can come together and actualize these calls for a reversal. It almost feels as though little is being recorded in terms of reversing this price.
Well, this is not the first time, Bito, that the TUC or NLC is asking the federal government to reverse its decision on either the fuel subsidy removal or a new fuel pump price. Now, mind you, yesterday in the news, while I was taking the headline stories, one of the major things that caught my attention was the fact that the federal government washed its hands off these new developments, saying that NNPC acted independently, to change the fuel pump price. And then it begs the question, is it that we are now at a stage where NNPCL is completely deregulated to the point where the federal government cannot dictate to it what it should do? Yes, NNPC is now a limited liability company. It's more like a private firm, right? A public company that people can buy shares into and all. But there needs to be some sort of regulation. If they can take this decision and the federal government says, oh, we don't have anything to do with it, they might as well up the fuel pump price to 5,000 naira, and the federal government will still say, we know nothing about it. And who bears the brunt of all of this back and forth? It's certainly the Nigerian citizens. And talking about NLC, I believe, not to say that the NLC has completely lost its powers, but if you ask a lot of people now, the trust that they used to have in the NLC, knowing that the NLC stood for the common man back in the day, it appears now that the only thing that the NLC is after is stomach infrastructure, as many people will describe it. And perhaps the TUC now, being vocal about this, might be able to influence some sort of change. You don't always hear the TUC talking, but the NLC is always, with a megaphone shouting all the time. And maybe that might have been the reason why the effects of their statements are continuing to diminish day by day. But the TUC, they don't talk too much. They don't talk too often. But when a push comes to shove, it becomes pertinent for them to be vocal. And on the part of the PDP, I don't think PDP has really much to do other than to just talk. They are an opposition, and in any situation when there is an opposition, no matter what the government of the day does, certainly the opposition will talk. But not saying that the PDP is completely wrong about being vocal concerning this issue. It's a national issue that affects everybody, Bito. And you will certainly expect that somebody as vocal as Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has been contesting for presidency for a very long time and who probably has his, policies and plans in place on how to run the country better, seeing somebody else running it in a way that doesn't align with what he has on paper, will certainly come out and talk. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is that Nigerians should be able to live a decent life. With this development, it appears as if people who earn a decent living only earn money to be able to feed, either buy petrol to drive themselves to work, or pay high amounts of transportation fares to be able to go to work and come back and earn money and feed. It's just a situation where people use money for two things: food and transport. Food and transport. It's the situation. And there's no room to save. There's no room to invest. There's no room to do any other thing with your money. It's where, sadly, we have found ourselves as a nation.
Now, much like Chijioke rightly said, the purchasing power parity of most Nigerians in light of their current income continues to remain a cause of concern. Well, this morning we also saw a circular from the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, saying that the NYSC has not deliberately refused to improve on the payments of corps members and implement the 70,000 naira minimum wage, but it's due to some technicalities and this will be sorted out. Now, whilst this is the position of the NYSC, the TUC, like we earlier saw on the Daily Times newspaper, is urging the federal government to return the price of PMS to what it was in June 2023. And the challenges are on that around the world, no government does not intervene in critical sectors, particularly in the petroleum sector. Much like Chijioke said, for the TUC, the president, Comrade Festus Osifo, wears two hats, one as the president of the Trade Union Congress and the other as the president of Pegasan, an active stakeholder in Nigeria's petroleum industry. Now, whilst this is the case, we're also seeing legal perspective this morning. Senior advocate of Nigeria and human rights lawyer Femi Falana SAN has told the federal government that fixing the price of PMS is against the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. Now, whilst we hear this talks, it is one that the NLC-TUC as a trade union congress cannot protest, and legally, no one other than SERAP can take the federal government to court on matters like this, which the senior advocate says is in clear disregard and illegal as it concerns the provisions made by the PIA.
Well, there's something that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar always says whenever he makes statements concerning issues, springing up in the country like this. He always refers to some of these government policies as anti-people policies. And if you look at it critically, it's certainly an anti-people policy. If you say that nobody can protest except perhaps the TUC and NLC, when was the last time NLC protested in this country in any way? The TUC doesn't protest that much. I don't think I remember when TUC last protested. Now that aside, and talking about SERAP, SERAP does a lot of talking. They do a lot of, dragging people to court, but at the end of the day, these cases just remain in the courts. They linger for such a long time to the point where before any sort of decision is taken by the courts, the effects of the policy that the federal government or the decisions like that of the NNPCL now would have taken an adverse effect on Nigerians. So if you take a critical look at it, Ipman should be able to take the federal government or NNPCL to court. Pegasan should be able to do that. But you come out every day and there's a new development and TUC says reverse it. NLC says if you don't reverse it, we will go on strike, but they never go on strike. Ipman comes out and says, if you continue to do this, it's hurting our businesses.
And we're going to stop operations.
We're going to stop operations. And when Ipman as a whole, when all these filling stations decide to stop operations, who do you think bears the brunt of the decision? Certainly the common man. People who want to fuel their cars to be able to go to work, taxi drivers who want to fuel their cars to transport commuters to and fro and earn a living. It all trickles down to the common man who can barely afford to pay for PMS at 1,000 naira or above 1,000 naira per litre. I mean, it's if you take a very, very close look at it, Bito, there should be a more holistic approach into ensuring that both the federal government and the NNPCL are held accountable. You cannot tell me that NNPCL will be taking decisions and the federal government will sit on the sidelines and say, well, we know the decision is not a good one, but we had no hand in it and we can't do anything about it. It's completely wrong.
Now, much like Chijioke said, the position of Independent Petrol Marketers Association, IPMAN, is a known one across two major newspapers this morning. And their argument comes from two perspectives. On the one hand, they're pointing accusing fingers at the NNPC Limited. First, over 15 billion naira as owed debts. These are debts that have not been repaid to the marketers. The marketers are also indicting the NNPCL for fixing the prices of products obtained from Dangote Refinery. Now, the debate is that in the oil markets, we always reference the global benchmark and global prices. But when it comes to the take-home wages and salaries of workers in Nigeria, little reference is made as to what the global standard is and what is obtainable across countries of the world. Now, this lacuna is often basically the challenges, and it falls back to what is called the principles and cardinal objectives of each administration. Now, there has been a back and forth this morning, particularly from the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, who has outrightly called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies anti-people. Now, one person who would not allow this sit well with her this morning is his wife, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who has also made headlines on the Standard Times, as we earlier told you this morning. And she has said that her husband is not the cause of hardship in Nigeria. Now, it's one of those very sensitive topics of the day, whilst the opposition is outrightly saying if it hadn't been for the fuel subsidy is gone comment, without the strategic implementations of what I call them, the piecemeal approach of some of the cushioning effects, CNG, alternatives to transportation, the First Lady thinks, and she begs to differ this morning. She says it cannot be entirely blamed on her husband. Do you see reasons with her?
Well, quite frankly, I do not see any reason why she wouldn't want to defend her husband. Before he became president of the country, he was her husband. And if there's anything, she would always want to stand by him, whether good or bad. In public, certainly. But maybe in private, they probably have their discussions and, you know, some truths fly here and there. But back to the main issue here. If she says that the president, her husband, is not responsible for the hardship in the country, who declared subsidy removal or subsidy gone?
Without it being provided for in his inaugural speech as well.
The president went off script during his inauguration and declared that fuel subsidy was gone on the day he was inaugurated. Now, since that day, you will agree with me, and I believe a lot of Nigerians watching right now would also agree with me, that it has been a downward spiral for the oil and gas industry in the country. And the adverse effect is it has affected so many sectors in the country. Transportation has been affected. Food security has been affected. Security in itself has also been affected. Because at this point, most people cannot even afford to drive their cars. So what do they resort to? Public transportation. And in a place like Abuja, you know how it is with public transportation. Sometimes you can get into vehicles of bad people where
what's called one chance,
where you either get kidnapped or you get robbed. So if you take a look at the adverse effects of subsidy removal across board, it cuts across every single thing. If you remember, there was a time when parents couldn't even take their children to school because petrol was becoming more and more expensive. They couldn't use their cars and they couldn't even afford to put them in public transportation to go to school. So there has just been a lot of deterioration across board, especially with the removal of fuel subsidy. So when the First Lady comes out to defend her husband, yes, in good faith, he is her husband. Defending him is the only right thing to do in her position as his wife. But in her position as Nigeria's First Lady, as someone who is considered a mother to the country and also a senator representing the people, there should be some sort of empathy and understanding that, yes, Nigerians have been facing hardship right from time immemorial, but the sort of hardship, the version of hardship that Nigerians are currently faced with right now is unprecedented. It is one that has never been felt, all due to the policies of one man. I might not want to call it an anti-people policies, because the president has come out several times to say that, yes, he knows there is hardship. Yes, he knows his policies are causing some sort of difficulty in, people's lives, but he's doing it for a reason. And that in the future, in the nearest future, Nigerians will begin to see why he decided to take out fuel subsidy and save up money for other capital infrastructure projects in the country, and to be able to get more money, for humanitarian affairs across the country and all. Well, Nigerians have been patient. It's been more than a whole year. If he contests for elections again, it will be straight 8 years for him. If in just 1 year, Nigerians are decrying the daunting hardship in the country, what do you think the next 7 years would look like? Should, in case this big plan that he has by taking out fuel subsidy does not work? That is the question that many Nigerians are asking.
A pertinent question this morning, a big one for many Nigerians and to our viewers as well. It's an invitation to join the conversation. You can share your thoughts as you react to issues in the news. Now, whilst a lot of persons led by the PDP's position to Mr. President and the publication earlier on the Daily Independent as to what constitutes signs of anarchy, especially in a society when persons continue to lament about harsh realities occasioned by the current economic situation. The president has promised economic prosperity, saying that Nigerians need to take baby steps of pains. But much like my co-host Chijoke has said, the projections are that if over 16 months look like this, what would the next 3 years to come and possibly 8 years come if there are no changes made? Now, the TUC is preferring a solution. Whilst a lot of persons have applauded the decision to trade crude in Naira, particularly in the interest of Dangote Refinery, the TUC is saying that a special forex scheme needs to be created to also accommodate interest side by side the projections that Dangote Refinery is also going to be influencing the Caribbean markets in this perspective. Now, another prominent issue in the news away from this has been issues of national security. Now, led by the Blueprint newspaper, there were comments and counter-comments, one from the DHQ, the other from ex-militant leader Asari Dokubo, who would not be for the first time in the news for the wrong reasons. Many would recall when he sat at the State House and outrightly pointed accusing fingers at some of the critical stakeholders in Nigeria's military architecture as aiding the oil theft in the Niger Delta. Now, this morning, we'll revisit the blueprints just to refresh our memories on comments made by Asari Dokubo and the counter comments made by the DHQ. Now, on the blueprints, you'd find the headline with the catchphrase, DHQ dares Asari Dokubo. Come and witness military might at battlefield. Dismisses ex-militants' threats to down troops' helicopters. 165 terrorists killed, 238 others arrested in 1 week, says Buba. Brigadier General Sadiq faces court martial over palliatives. Now, it's a very trying situation, and just to add, maybe related or unrelated, was what happened to the crew of DSTV on their way to Uyo to cover the Super Eagles game today. There was
quite an unfortunate incident
with kidnappers trying to abduct some of their crew members, and it's coming at a time when people talk about ex-militants like Asari Dokubo making some claims that can be seen to ignite some level of, would I call it, disempathy towards the government, especially with a targeted claim that he can bring down troops of the Air Force.
Well, Bito, you know, in a country like Nigeria, one thing that I believe most people feel like is they can make such blatant statements and go scot-free. And guess what? They do make those statements and go scot-free. In some quarters of the country, if these statements were to come out of anybody's mouth, they will be languishing in a police cell or probably in a military facility being held there, awaiting trial or awaiting some sort of punishment to be meted out on them. Now, in the case of Asari Dokubo, I see no reason whatsoever why such unguarded statements could be made, especially towards the military of a sovereign nation like Nigeria. Yes, he's an ex-militant leader, but there was a point where the militants in the Niger Delta were granted amnesty, if you recall, and this was in you know, a negotiation table where they were asked to lay down their arms. They did, and since then there's been this mutual relationship between the ex-militants and the federal government, where a lot of them have benefited from the benevolence of successive governments, from the government of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course now the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration. So I see no reason whatsoever why Asari Dokubo would be hinged on, you know, making threats at the military on and on. And at this point, if you want to call it what it is a terrorist threat. If you are threatening to shoot down or take down military helicopters of a sovereign nation, you are threatening the nation as a whole. You are threatening the peace and security of the nation. And you should be treated as a terrorist. That is just the truth. If somebody like that could make such unguided statements, and everybody starts making such statements, and most people might not just be making statements, they might go ahead and carry out those acts.
Because how do we now differentiate comments made by Asari Dokubo from comments made by Bello Turji?
Exactly.
Because both of them are along the same corridor.
Bello Turji has threatened to kill the president several times. He has made statements, blatant statements. You know, the president will say, lay down your arms, surrender, we will forgive you, we will grant you amnesty. He will say, no, I will kill you. Now, this is a terrorist and should be dealt with accordingly as a terrorist. For someone like Asari Dokubo to say, I will shoot down military helicopters, that is a terrorist statement, just as much as Bello Turji's statement, just as much as the Jamaatul Nasir Islam statement, the Boko Haram sect statement. So if the military really wants to take action, they should not be trading words with Asari Dokubo. They should take action. The DHQ did not even need to reply him and ask him to come see military might at work in the battlefield. They do not need to do that. He should be treated as what he is, a terrorist, an enemy of the state.
Now, more on the concerns on if we have sacred cows, be it in the anti-graft war or in the war against terrorism, is the editorial guideline as published on the Guardian newspaper. Now, much as the thin line between where terrorism ends and when corruption begins, because the correlationship between terrorism financing being birthed from the monies ill-gotten through misappropriation of funds have also been a big subject of debate. Now, let's remind you about the headline earlier published on The Guardian as well. On The Guardian this morning, we saw as headline with the catchphrase beneath the masthead, War Against Corruption, where anti-graft eagle turns a blind eye to sacred cows. Now, you find the infographics there depicted with the red jacket wearing eagle, particularly the EFCC, and its catch net being evaded by more of a scarecrow flying with the tag graft, corruption, like you'd want to call it. Now, the key words here are sacred cows. It almost feels as though, yes, we have agencies of government saddled with the mandate and responsibility of fighting corruption, as it were. But when it comes to those who are said to be corrupt or allegedly, like the good words in the law would say, they are treated with the catchphrase sacred cows.
But Bito, are we really talking about sacred cows, or are we talking about sacred white lions?
Well, it seems as though in the animal kingdom, some animals are more equal than others.
Yeah.
Be them lions or be them
white lions or cows. So, but the point is, at this point, I believe that the Nigerian people are gradually beginning to lose faith in the affairs of the EFCC, especially at a time when it appears that most of their focus has shifted on internet fraudsters, other than going after people who siphon huge government funds, looters of government coffers, and people who, you know, take billions, hundreds of billions of naira of the Nigerian taxpayers' monies and, you know, boldly flaunt these monies in the country, knowing that nothing will be done to them. Take a case study, for example, the ex-Taraba State Governor, Darius Ishaku, that was arrested with an alleged 47 billion naira somewhat fraud allegation. And he was granted a bail to the tune of 150 million naira, I beg your pardon. He's a free man walking today. Now that's a bail. I know it's not that he's set free. The case is still on. But why 150 million naira when somebody siphoned or allegedly siphoned almost 50 billion naira? This is the issue. And in the case of somebody like the former Kogi State Governor, Yahaya Bello, if you take a look at Yahaya Bello's case and what the current governor Ododo is doing with the whole situation and the whole theatrics that they are playing around, where Yahaya Bello went to the EFCC office, they said he just stood at the parking lot and left, you know, all sorts of different versions of stories that do not just add up to the minds of Nigerians. You will understand that when you have money in a country like this, you can scale through any problem that you might find yourself in with any of these anti-graft agencies, either the EFCC or the ICPC. It is the truth. And I think the strategy or the modus operandi that they use now is siphon so much money, take so much from the government coffers, that when the anti-graft agencies come for you, you take a handful of it and settle them. Or you just use a portion of the money, go to court, fight the case, and that portion of money goes, but yet then you still have so much money that you don't know what to do with it. That is the reality. And that is what most of these politicians, most of these corrupt government office holders who have been found guilty or who have been accused allegedly of siphoning government monies, that is the strategy they take. And it is a reoccurring issue. It is a reoccurrence that Nigerians have gotten so used to it. Even the anti-graft agencies have also gotten so used to it that they don't just care anymore. But if there were stringent measures, if there was something like a death penalty for fraud cases where you take taxpayers' monies or you take monies from the government coffers without accounting for them, if there were more stringent punishments, then I believe these sacred cows will become not so sacred anymore. And these sacred white lions will be sent back to the zoo.
Well, it's an interesting analogy this morning and in perspective of the issues on ground with the war against anti-graft. Kogi State and 15 other states are taking the EFCC, the NFIU to court. Now, in line with this, the Supreme Court has also fixed a date to hear the suit as filed by these 16 states against the EFCC and NFIU. Now, the 22nd of October is said to be the D-date. What is the issue in question? These 16 states are asking that the EFCC be labeled unconstitutional, citing its establishments not being accommodated by the 1999 Constitution as amended. This is a huge issue which also borders on the power of the EFCC and NFIU to probe accounts of these 16 states. Now, if the states are now taking the eagle, the almighty eagle, to court, how do we ensure that there is probity of funds in line with transparencies and the need to evaluate how the people's taxpayers' money is spent by the states? Well, I guess Nigerians would have to keep their fingers crossed come the 22nd of October to listen to how the Apex Court would rule in the suit as filed by 16 states against the EFCC. Now, in keeping with other issues in the news this morning, it is also on the developments, much would say in line with the legal workings of the court. Now, Rivers State has been one of the key states in recent times where a lot has gone on following the defection of some lawmakers in the State House of Assembly. What the state courts have said And now, in a judgment as captioned on the Nation newspaper, let's refresh your minds. It almost feels as though the pro-Governor Fubara lawmakers are not being recognized by the courts, with the governor set to be heading to the Supreme Court to obtain a judgment. The headline reads, Court, Fubara must take Budget 2024 to Amahule-led House. Court of Appeal dismisses governor's case. Rivers heads for Supreme Court. Now, it's with yesterday's dismissal of Governor Siminalayi Fubara's appeal and the mandate to present the 2024 budget to the Martins Amahuelu-led Assembly. Now, the Court of Appeal ruled that the governor was wrong to have presented a budget to 4 members of the 32-man House of Assembly. It equated the action to autocracy. It also affirmed that the Federal High Court's judgments nullifying the passage of the River State budget by a 4-member House. In a unanimous judgment by a 3-member panel of justices in Abuja, led by Justice Joseph Oyewole, held that the appeal filed by Governor Siminalayi against the January 22 judgment was unmeritorious. Now, it's a case of numerics, 4 against 32. And quite rightly so, it's also about some of the lacunas that is where, the loopholes in our judiciary as to what constitutes defection. And at that point where they defected, where their seat's supposed to be vacated, should the states be held in bondage? The people's budget to be able to implement and carry out policies and agendas of government was at a standstill. Now, it is on his onus that this budget be represented to the Amahuelu-led House, and we know the position of Amahuelu, especially with regards to the governor. People are calling him pro-Wike, and whilst people are calling the other 4 members pro-Fubara. But the bane of this issue is on the budget for 2024. Look how far we've gone into the year, and look how far expenditures of government are now said to be non-constitutional.
And mind you, this defection happened in December last year. So it's been 10 to 11 months of nothing in the States. There's been some sort of stagnation. But the major question that I believe is on the table that needs to be answered now is, was the defection illegal? It wasn't an illegal defection. So for the governor to say that their seats were vacant the moment they defected, I believe it holds no water at all. They defected because they choose to defect. They did not defect because they wanted to defect and oust the governor or impeach him. I mean, for the period of time that they defected and they moved to the APC and all, yes, it's possible that these 26 lawmakers, are part of the Wike-led faction of River State, but they are APC lawmakers now. Wike is a PDP man. So no matter what happens, there is still some certain level of influence that he cannot exert on them. Everybody has a mind of his own. Yes, these lawmakers are loyal, they might be loyal to Wike, but at the same time, Governor Fubara should not also do the same thing to the lawmakers that he is crying foul on that Wike is doing to him. Because it appears as if it's now an issue of, your guy is flogging me, I will also flog you. That is the situation that we are seeing now. Now, for the appellate court, I believe the judgment of the appellate court to ask the governor to present, the 2024 budget to the Amaule-led, faction of the Amaule-led assembly is quite apt. But again, it is Fubara. He will certainly head to the Supreme Court, and he has said that he would head to the Supreme Court. So maybe the Rivers people in the next 2, 3, another 6 months, or even another year, will not really see the dividends of democracy that they need from the State House of Assembly. Because as it stands now, 2024 budget, we are just about 2 months and some weeks out of the year, and nothing has been done. No implementation has been done. Approval has not even, been gotten yet. So where exactly are the Rivers people heading to? If the governor continues to fight with, who is considered his godfather in Abuja, and the State House of Assembly that are supposed to deliver the mandates of people who elected them into office.
Now, it's quite a challenging situation, and whilst the Rivers government is saying that the court, in its judgment, did not also outrightly reinstate the defected lawmakers, the challenge is on how government will continue spending without the approval by the State House of Assembly, which is constitutionally required for government to be able to carry out budgetary provisions in the year in question, 2024. Now, since January 22nd, when the court sat on the matter, and now when it has also given another instruction, is the challenge in taking this matter to the apex court. It's been through appeal, and now it's headed for the Supreme Court. Now, in closing on the local newspapers, let's revisit the Nation newspaper, another feature story that has characterized the Nobel Prize winner, Professor Wole Soyinka, who has made another outrageous comment this morning, and a lot of persons are looking at it as a position of such a renowned person. It's at 90, I am prepared for my death, says Soyinka. At 90, I am prepared for my death. This is one of those comments again. Wole Soyinka, in his ways, it almost seems as though he's always in the news for some outrageous statements. It's his life. He has lived quite the illustrious life, impacted literature, and in his profession, people have also looked at it as some of the misgivings that today in the university settings, we have some non-state groups that have also fomented trouble within the corridors of learning. Many are saying at 90, he says he's not afraid to leave for the great beyond. What do you make of this statement?
Well, Professor Wole Soyinka has been a very unconventional person, if you know him very well. And I think I remember reading an article by him when the great late Chinua Achebe passed on. He penned down some sort of eulogy to him, and he eulogized him in such a way that he said he left a big void in his heart, and that he couldn't wait to join his friend. Even though when Chinua Achebe was alive, there was a lot of controversy between, concerning their relationship or friendship at some point. But at 90, Wole Soyinka is somebody that can say what he wants to say. He can say what he wants to say. He can, not necessarily do what he wants to do, because there are laws guiding actions and all in the state or in the country. But such statements saying he is not afraid to die, or saying that he considers Ifa worship more creative and all of that, these were statements he made yesterday. They are just one of those Wole Soyinka statements. You should expect it from him. He's 90, just a decade shy of being 100 years. So at this point, if Wole Soyinka sleeps tonight and he doesn't wake up tomorrow, I think maybe, yes, we will miss his creative prowess, but at the end of the day, it's beautiful that he got to live a very, very lengthy life, and he impacted the world in very, very deep, creative ways that many people would live to remember him for very, very many years to come. So, yes, that's just it.
Well, it's a fine place to leave our review on the local scenes, talking about issues in the news as captured by newspapers in Nigeria this morning. Now, we'll take a short break, and when we return, Chijioke Okafor would also give us insights into the world around us with publications on the front pages of foreign newspapers and tabloids. Please stay with us.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmer.
Hello guys, I'm Fola Gadeba.
I'm Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanrade Dura. I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Uche Upa.
It's today's season.
I'm Stems.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Ese Odometa. I am an actor.
My name is Obiku Vala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would use a shout out to
ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADTV.
And this is ADBN TV.
ADBN TV. Keep watching. Don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching. Love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now, you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah.
Hey, Bobby. Ha! It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
You're welcome back to Morning Express. Now let's turn our attention to some stories making the rounds in the news on foreign newspapers and international tabloids. Now on our lineup this morning, we'll be taking the Daily Mail first as we begin in this review. Now on the front page of the Daily Mail, I will take the headline story, tax hike plan that will cost billions. HMRC's own figures suggest large CGT rise mooted for budget will backfire. Now, a huge capital gains tax rate will cost the country billions and send investors abroad, Rachel Reeves has warned. Inserted here is a picture of the Princess of Wales in Southport yesterday with the caption, Kate dazzles on her first public visit since illness. Away from the Daily Mail newspaper, let's pick up the Daily Telegraph. On the front page of the Daily Telegraph, you'd find the headline story inserted beneath the masthead. Private hospitals to rescue the NHS. £1 billion proposal to clear waiting list. 0.5 million patients could start within weeks. While inserted on the other side, Tory centrists threatened to be in ballot leadership. Now, of course, you'll also find the picture again of Princess visiting Southport yesterday. Her first public appearance, she fell ill. On the right, Sue Gray, as doubts emerge over her new role. Now, inside the Daily Telegraph, 400 claims a day for mental health benefits. I believe this is in commemoration of World Mental Health Day yesterday. Paper Mile Road scheme inevitable, while Israeli tanks injure UN peacekeepers. In business, Lynch protege to be investment minister. These are the many stories you'd find here on the Daily Telegraph. Our next paper on the lineup, the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian, the UN has said Israel deliberately fired on its peacekeepers. Israel deliberately fired on its peacekeepers as they allege attacks on would be grave violation of international law. Now, the UN peacekeeper yesterday that Israeli forces had deliberately fired on its position and bringing fresh accusations of violations of international. Feature story on the Guardian: capital gains tax as 39%. Now, Rachel Reeves is considering raising capital gains 39% in the budget. The Guardian can reveal in the scramble to raise crumbling public services. Following the hands of Hurricane Milton, you'd find a picture of a woman reacting with to her home after a tornado struck Wellington, Palm Beach County. With the Hurricane Milton, at least 10 people as storm wreaks havoc across Florida. Now, this story is continued of the Guardian newspaper. While police and CPS handling of case raises new concerns in the Lucy Letby case. Away from the Guardian, our next paper on the lineup will be the Irish Times as we continue in this international review. Now, on the Irish Times, we start off with a story beneath the masthead, an opinion and analysis by Justin McCarthy. Biden privately pronounced Benjamin Netanyahu a liar. Still, America keeps sending him its killing machinery. We could sense something was coming. Brady and co celebrate win over Finns. This is in sports. Now, major headline story here says Taoiseach condemns attacks on UN troops by Israel. White House deeply concerned by IDF firing at multiple UN positions. Irish troops on duty in area where tension is most intense, says Defense Forces. While Kay Kinahan, cartel member, arrested in Dubai. Consultants in RTE reviews paid more than 900,000 euros. These are the many stories you'd find on the Irish Times newspaper.
Well, thanks to Chijoke Okafor for taking us through headline stories as captured on the foreign newspapers. Be reminded that at 3 p.m. later today, you can get more in-depth analysis into the world around you as you join our in-house program, Global Digest. Now, in keeping with a commemoration on the 11th of November of October annually, the world commemorates the International Day of the Girl Child. Now, we'll be looking at some of the activities in Nigeria as to our contributions in keeping with an improved environment for the girl child to achieve her full potential. Well, this morning on the show, we're also going to be joined by a girl child advocate, Faith Kaminus, who will be joining us virtually, and we'll also be joined by Jennifer Martin as well. But first, let's see if we have our connections with Faith this morning as she joins the program. Hello, Faith. Good morning to you. Faith, can you hear us? Now, whilst we're looking to establish that connection, it's important to remind you that the International Day of the Girl Child was first commemorated on the 11th of October in the year 2012 and was the first day of the girl child. Now, back here in Nigeria, something symbolic also happened at the Green Chambers of the National Assembly as the Speaker briefly stepped aside for a little Miss Annabelle Anani to preside over a special session of plenary where she advocated for better lots of the girl child. Now, the House of Representatives is also looking to the National Orientation Agency and the NDLEA to improve on the message of drug abuse refrainment and a better educational standard for girl children in Nigeria. We'll bring you highlights of that segment as conducted in the Green Chambers yesterday, and then when we come back, we'll establish contacts with Faith and Miss Martin as we have a more robust conversation. Stay with us.
The theme of this year's International Day of the Girl Child is Girls' Vision for the Future. For me, I envision a future where every girl, regardless of where she comes from, has an opportunity to flourish, where education isn't seen as a high pedestal privilege, but as an essential tool to equip girls make important decisions that affect them and ultimately the places they come from. According to the United Nations, nearly 1 in 5 girls are still not completing lower secondary school, and nearly 4 in 10 girls are not completing upper secondary school today. As if these numbers aren't concerning enough, they are at a constant risk of harassment and the what-ifs that are associated with violence, which simply should not exist. I want a future where we don't have to combat all the overwhelming experiences of childhood and adolescence alone, where girls aren't discriminated because of their bodily functions and are encouraged when they want to take the mantle in places like politics and STEM, and feel safe and feel like they are wanted. As an aspiring woman in STEM, yes, I'm an engineering student, I know what it is like to be the only girl in male-dominated spaces. However, I don't want to be the only girl. I want to be one of many. I want a future where the healthcare system for girls isn't discriminated against due to the sociocultural factors that so wrongfully exist. Girls are breaking boundaries, regardless of the stereotypes and exclusion, which include the marginalization and living with disabilities. And they are doing so regardless of what society says. I've been able to be on the ends of both tables, fortunately. I've been in rooms like this with change makers, advocates, and leaders who are ardent about change through my work in advocacy with Plan International. That side looks hopeful and bright as the advocates and leaders are willing to make this change. The other end is where I have heart-to-hearts with my friends and people around me who think that they cannot be anything compared to their male counterparts. That end is gloomy and bland. Now more than ever, we need girls to combat problems of climate change, political conflict, economic degeneration, diseases, and global unrest. We need to ensure that for every girl, there is access to healthcare that protects her and understands her needs, access to quality education that enables her to reach her potential, safety from violence and harmful practices that affect her physically, emotionally, and mentally. How can she dream when she is worried about what her next meal might be? How does she take charge if she lives in constant fear? Most importantly,
Order, please. Order, please.
Most importantly, she needs support because we all have a role to play. She needs policies that are made with her interest in mind. She needs opportunities, not just a seat at the table, because anybody can get a seat at the table. But she needs to get that seat and feel like she can conquer, because
Honorable
she can.
Ebiente, take your seat. Honorable Ebiente.
And we have to understand that in our call for action, firstly, there needs to be engagement. Girls should be a part of policy making, because who better knows what girls want than girls themselves? They should be in rooms like this constantly. Gender-inclusive budgeting and gender-inclusive policies should be made for girls to empower and protect them in making sure that they maximize their full potential. Safe schooling is very important because there's simply nothing for girls if she cannot have the education because she lives in constant fear. Sanitary pads and hygiene products should be made available, and they should be made as cheap as they can be. The good thing is that we are already halfway there, and every day we are a step closer to achieving these goals. Also, there isn't just one solution, but hundreds. There isn't just one girl to talk for, but millions. In order for us to continue at the steady progression that we have so rightfully ascertained, we mustn't just provide her a seat at the table. Finally, I congratulate all the women in parliament that have pushed through and broken stereotypes. Girls around Nigeria aspire to be like you. And to all the he for she's who uplift the girls they know and to continue striving, we see your efforts and we deeply appreciate your strive for equality. And don't forget that the marathon continues, but fortunately, we're already halfway there.
Well, very eloquent there, Miss Isabel Anani, addressing the Green Chambers yesterday in a special session to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child. Now, we're looking to establish contact with our guests, and they'll have to join us virtually this morning as we broaden the scope of discussion. We're also hoping that our connection to Faith Caminos is better known and she can join the program. Hello, Faith. Can you hear us? Good morning to you. Now, let's see if we can rejoin some events that happened on the floor of the Green Chambers yesterday. A lawmaker also lending her voice to Miss Isabel Anani yesterday advocated for improved livelihoods for the girl. Honorable Khalifat Okpara lent her voice to this conversation as she moved a motion yesterday on the floor of the Green Chambers. Take a listen.
20, I am from Lagos State, the Center of Excellence. I rise this morning to move this motion in commemoration of the 2024 International Day of the Girl Child. The House notes that 11th of October globally
the world celebrates International Day of the Girl Child. This year's theme is Girls, Vision for the Future. The House also notes that International Day of the Girl Child is a day adopted by the United Nations to remind young girls of their uniqueness, strength, and prowess. It is a day set aside to address issues such as early or child marriage, violence against girls, rape, child molestation, education deprivation, nutrition, legal rights, and all other issues faced by girls, and to support more opportunities for girls and increase awareness for gender inequality. More than 1.1 billion girls are poised to take on the future. Every day, girls are breaking boundaries and barriers, tackling issues posed by stereotypes and exclusion, including those directed at children with disabilities and those living in marginalized communities. The protection of the girl child is crucial for sustaining the continuity of mankind as they grow into women and mothers who not only shape the future generation, but the trajectory of nations. The House is aware that gender discrimination is a global phenomenon that engulfed many nations of the world due to patriarchy and cultural stereotypes. While other nations have made giant strides in closing the gender gap, Nigeria is still grappling with these issues, starting from access to education, healthcare, and access to basic amenities. Despite Nigeria being a signatory to the Convention of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, Convention on Child's Rights, and many others, like harmful practices like the female genital mutilation, is still being practiced in some parts of the country, which is a direct violation of human rights of women and, of course, the girls. The House is informed that recent analysis shows that girls are not only courageous in the face of crisis, but hopeful for the future. According to the World Health Organization, children growing into adolescence, especially between the ages of 10 to 19, have limited knowledge about the natural processes of puberty, sexual health, pregnancy, or reproduction. This period of their lives is a period of rapid development of knowledge and skills, learning to manage emotions, relationships, acquire attributes and abilities that will necessarily be necessary for them to enjoy adolescent years and assuming adult roles. When they are sexually abused at this sensitive season of their lives, it affects their growth and development and their overall well-being, leading them to becoming dysfunctional adults in some instances due to psychological and mental trauma. The House is worried about this disheartening high number of out-of-school girls engaged in drug abuse as well. Current data indicates that Nigeria has an estimated 10.5 million girls that are out of school who are also users of hard drugs. The House is worried that the presence of such a vast number of uneducated youth not only jeopardizes their future, but also poses a threat to the nation's security and socioeconomic stability. If deliberate efforts are not taken to address the challenges and be intentional to protect the girl child, the country will be at risk of raising dysfunctional mothers who are meant to protect the home, society, and the future. The prayers. The House resolves that we urge the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and National Orientation Agency, alongside other stakeholders, to collaborate with schools, community organizations, religious institutions to educate the public on drug abuse dangers and promote drug-free lifestyle to make provision for rehabilitation. And also urge the Federal Ministry of Education to devise practical ways, such as implementing mobile education, the units or community outreach programs to curb out-of-school girls across the 36 states of the Federation. That the National Assembly to see to the amendment of the Child's Rights Act to provide protection for sexually abused children and provide necessary legislative support in terms of budgetary approvals to the concerned ministries in this regard, and also see to the domestication of the Child Rights Act throughout the nation through the Conference of Speakers. That the leadership of the House to ensure the swift passage of bills that seek to protect women and girls, like the Gender and Equal Opportunities Bill. That we mandate the Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development, Basic Education and Services to engage the NDLEA, Ministry of Education, NOA, and other stakeholders by organizing workshops, creating awareness campaigns, and monitoring progress to ensure compliance. I so move, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Kafila Tokpara, member of the House of Representatives, in her motion and prayers to the House to up its advocacy for establishing a collaboration between the Nigerian Orientation Agency, NDLEA, and educational institutions to ensure that issues affecting the girl child in abuse of drug and out-of-school children are curbed. Now let's see if our connection favors us as we rejoin Faith Caminos, who is joining us virtually this morning. Hello, Faith. Can you hear us now?
Good morning, sir. I can hear you.
Good morning and welcome to the program. Let's get your thoughts on the theme for this year's celebration, Girls' Vision for the Future. How apt is this theme?
I would say the theme is very apt. Girls these days are being taught to learn how to dream big, learn how to do amazing things all across the world. Globally, we see women rising in sports, we see them rising in politics, Kamala Harris, we see the amazing things that Simone Biles did at the Olympics. It shows that girls are catching visions for their future, and making it a global theme just helps all the other girls in different areas of the world at large know that they can dream big, which is something that my organization really loves to push ahead to ensure that girls are able to dream. We try to teach them that your dreams are valid and that you can achieve it only you have the right support, the right community to achieve those goals. So yes, it's very valid.
Well, let's get some insight into the activities or the operations of your organization. What do you do for the girl child? I know you do a lot of activism, but can you take us through the activities?
Okay, so Female and More is a self-esteem and leadership capacity building program for girls. We do that for teenage girls and for adult women. Today being the International Day of the Girl Child, we are hosting 10 different events, 7 here in Nigeria, and 3 others across Cameroon, Zambia, and Botswana to celebrate the girl child. My organization focuses on ensuring that the girl child learns how to work in this world. We believe that self-esteem can definitely be, self-esteem issues affect a girl's ability to achieve and become. When a girl thinks low herself, she's really not able to compete with her mates. So what Female and More does is to teach girls that you are enough, is to tell them that you can achieve your dreams, is to tell them that despite the challenges you are faced, you are able to do a whole lot with your life. Female and More, we have a self-esteem module, which we use for girls. It's a 30-day self-esteem book that takes girls through the stories of African female heroes, from Abike Dabiri to Malala, and all of them, to just share their stories, their challenges, and their successes. So we try to teach these girls how to build their self-esteem through a story-based model. We have school clubs across different schools in Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, and other states, where we have weekly sessions with these girls to help them build their self-esteem through the storytelling model.
Now, Faith, we appreciate that you're trying to also tell us more about Female and More, but your shot has been cropped off. We can barely see your face. All we can see is the handbook in your hand. Care to tell us more about the role of mentorship in shaping this Girls We Want for the Future? How much is the role of mentorship in achieving this?
play.
Go on.
As we see, we become, usually. As we see, we become. That means that when we are able to, when we have a picture, we are able to usually project or good products are created from prototypes. So some people with different challenges that we would not want this as well. Now, mentorship is our own means of saying, oh, I've done this, you have to go through it. Challenges. It actually cuts short the number of, or reduces the number of mistakes that these young girls tend to make as they grow. So mentorship is very important in ensuring that girls grow and girls dream.
Well, it's fantastic that you have put it that way in terms of mentorship, ensuring that you know, the girl child grows and knows what she wants for the future. Let's talk about the family now. What role do you think that perhaps mothers who are most likely closer to their children should be playing in ensuring that they are present in the lives of the children and guide them through in bettering or better understanding what they should, you know, focus in aiming for their future?
I really love the question, because for anyone to grow holistically, they need the family. Family is the basic unit of anyone's life. And for girls these days, I think mothers should prioritize telling their girls that they are enough. They should also prioritize ensuring that the girls are able to see them as good example. We have mothers these days that shield their children from tough challenges and telling them, no, that's my child, she doesn't have to go through it. And then when they get to the university, they have to see all those things you shielded them from, and they are not able to grow. So I would say mothers should ensure that their daughters grow holistically. Don't say, oh, she's a girl, why does she want to learn how to drive? Oh, she's a girl, why is she playing with boy toys? Why is she playing with toys that look more masculine? I think in this day and age, mothers should learn to allow their daughters explore as well. Allow them to explore the different careers they want to explore, while still telling them to ensure that they follow the right path. I think the role of parents is mostly guidance, not necessarily deciding what the child does and becomes. I would also want to mention that in this time, mothers should also prioritize having discussions around relationships, sex, the internet with their daughters, because these days, young children and girls have access to the internet. And they are able, if the mother does not decide and culture what her daughter learns, and she's left to social media will give her a different culture from what may be the best thing for her. So it's important that mothers don't shy away to, oh, why are you pressing your phone? Why are you on WhatsApp? Why are you on Instagram? I think the mothers should go through these processes with the girls to ensure that they feel loved, and that the girls know, oh, it's okay for me to do this, and that I can share all of these secrets, all of these ideas with my mom, right? I think mothers should try to earn the trust of their daughters by allowing them explore, while they just guide them along the way, not necessarily regimenting what they do.
Well, we must thank you, Faith Caminos, for taking our time to discuss with us on the commemoration of the International Day of the Girl Child. We wish Female Amor all the best in her further surgeons.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on the call.
Well, we'll take a short break now, and when we return, we'll have more guests join the conversation as we look to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child in line with the 2024 theme, Girls' Vision for the Future. Stay with us.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flennon, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanradi Dura. I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's Tobe Season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kubana.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching. Don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
A shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
A shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah.
Hey, Bobby.
Ha!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Edition of our flagship program Morning Express live on ADBN television. 11th October 2024, we are commemorating the International Day of the Girl Child. Like we said before the break, the theme for this year's celebration is Girls' Vision for the Future. We're also narrowing it down to the peculiar challenges affecting the Nigerian girl child. Well, in our studios this morning, we're also joined by our guest who is the president of Empower Her Choices, Nikurai Martin, and she's not alone in the studio. She also has a girl child in the studio, Rauta Benedict. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Well, you're both welcome. Let me start off with Rauta. It's your day, the International Day for the Girl Child. How do you feel about this commemoration of a very special event?
I feel it's a very good one. Looking at my training at Belham by Empower Her Choices Pregnant Prevention Initiative, it has been really a roller coaster because I've really learned a lot from my coach about grooming horses, taking care of them, and it has killed elderliness from, like, how do I put it now?
You're no longer idle. You keep busy.
I keep busy. Yeah, I have something to keep me up as a girl child. Yes. No, there are a lot of girl child that are very idle. People don't have. Men think they are useless in the world, in Nigeria specifically. Yeah.
Okay. Well. Let me come to you, Nikurai. Yeah. She has quite beautifully put the works that you do, or some of the advocacy works that you do for the girl child, in a very perfect way. Now, let me just hear it from the horse's mouth. Now, what exactly do you do under your foundation for the girl child?
Okay, so Empower Her Choices is an underage pregnancy prevention initiative targeted towards adolescent and teen girls, as it says, against underage pregnancy. So we try to engage and empower them through our sports programs, our skill acquisition programs, and our computer literacy programs. We also have a mentorship program which is under the Padded Girl program, which we go talk about sex education, hygiene, and just mentorship. You know, some days, some people just want to vent. You just want to be around another girl, another woman, so that you can just express yourself. So it's something like that. So under the sports program currently, which we launched, we are doing a stable hand training, which is the first of its kind in Nigeria, where women are engaging in equestrian sports. Currently, there aren't more than a dozen female, especially in the polo aspect of the equestrian sport, which is the most recognized one in Nigeria. So we're trying to include more career opportunities inside there, because, like, look at the Paris Olympics. There were so many equestrian sports, from dressage, vaulting, jumping, and the rest of them, and stable hands, who are literally like the engine room of the equestrian sports. So without stable hands, you wouldn't even have a proper running stable or ranch. So now bringing women, which is, there isn't any female stable hand in the country. So now bringing that into the sphere, it has really ignited a lot of equestrian interest, not just in stable hand, but polo, dressage. We have so many women right now, close to like 15, that we have trained and are going to be graduating. So yes, that's pretty much it. Engaging them to remove that idleness that people, like she said, think you are just jobless or useless in the society. That's why you're here.
But how is that coming along? And are you getting the much needed support from stakeholders, especially the parents and guardians of these children or girls that you sort of train under your initiative?
Yes, there is a lot of support. There is a lot of pushback as well. But I think the support should be recognized much more, because sensitization is like a step at a time. People need to open their minds around it. I started basketball when I was in JS2. That was a long time ago. And even then, it was a problem for me outside of my school setting. Like he knows, he was my classmate back in Gindri, Gosa. So he knows, like, it was outside of the school setting is a challenge, because they tend to tag females in sports generally as promiscuous women. Unfortunately, that's where most men are. But why would you keep driving and shaming that sport and saying it's promiscuous women or girls that go there? People that have interest, support them and don't talk down on that sport, or on that space. So I think we've come a long way from where I started to where we are, where parents like Routers are like championing. I spoke with her father before they came. He was like, I need to know what the program is about. And I had to send him everything. And he was like, I'm very pleased with this. And okay, yes, I'm going to give you my whole daughter's support. Her family is behind you. And yeah, so this is it. There are challenges, but the good part is we're coming out successfully and triumphantly, yeah.
Now, just to talk about the role of mentorship, I know you've referenced how much of your upbringing, especially with the kind of education we were afforded, where sports was prioritized and inculcated into our school curriculum. But for you, did you have mentorship in coming up with this idea? What spurred you into coming up with this initiative?
The birthplace of this initiative is, for me, being a teen mother myself. When it was my time, during my time, I wasn't mentored enough. I wasn't allowed to thrive. Unfortunately, a lot of adults were very, very shameless, not even shameful, very shameless, in the sense that instead of encouraging or sending good words to the parents of these children, my parents, they always said, you know, she's following boys, she's doing that. And then it destroyed my morale, it destroyed my drive, and, you know, the boys that they were claiming I was following, now, since I wasn't going to that basketball, I was idle. And then I take responsibility for my actions. However, society needs to take accountability for their part that they play in the lives of these girls. You have to mentor them with the words you say. Let it be encouraging. If you have nothing nice to say or encouraging, just keep quiet. You don't understand, they try to understand, you know. So I try to, like, find people that align in my growth. I found people along the line that encouraged me, you know, and then over time, you know, the parents and the people that said nay about it, they get to see that, okay, it is not what they thought. But a child shouldn't have to go through all of those hoops to prove to adults. Adults are supposed to mentor children. So yes, I think from that angle, the mentorship, the nurturing, the village children had, or we were taught that, okay, children had, you know, it takes a village to raise. It's almost non-existent now. So that is what I'm pretty much doing, you know, building that village around children.
Let's come back to Router. Router, it's about the stable hands. Yes. Did you always have a love for horses growing up? What are some of the sports besides horse riding that you like?
Okay, I really love to watch basketball. Like, not play, but I really love to watch it. My brother, he loves playing basketball. So anytime he goes there to play, it's mostly him and his friends that are guys there. So I just go there, watch him play. And then my mom be like, why are you always going there? They're always against it. So be like, you're a girl, be at home, cook, all these type of things. Yeah.
But you love being at home and cooking?
Not really. But I love cooking.
Now, is striking this balance? There are traditional roles over time that families have now restricted certain gender of children to doing, and even statistically speaking, it's not only in Nigeria. Globally, we're told that between 5 to 14 girls spend over 160 million hours doing unpaid domestic work. Now, in breaking the stereotypes, what's your message to Nigerians and our viewers this morning in embracing initiatives that open girls up to sports and other extracurricular activities that help shape them beyond just educational certificates?
My message is, you know, this popular saying, what a man can do, a woman can do even better. I wouldn't say that. I would say that what a man can do, a woman can nurture even better. Because giving example from the equestrian sports, when you see the way the women handle and groom the horses, it's more natural, more caring, and more appealing than the way the men are a bit crude. And in international spheres where you see the equestrian sport is majorly dominated by women, because they say like the women have a more gentler touch to the horses, and for a horse to actually break or listen to you, you have to actually almost like bend your will to theirs. And you know, with men, you people always, you know, you people, how can I bend my will to someone? Someone has
There's
to
a
bend.
certain ego to it.
Yeah, so for the equestrian sports, like she just took, for her, I have noticed a lot of them, you know, over time you have to like shut down the most serious ones or not. She kept coming, she kept, even when her father says, oh, there's no transport money, or she says, this is it. So we have to have dedication in it. So how it shapes you is that, okay, some people are good in the kitchen, some people are good outside. Don't just subject your children because of their gender to kitchen roles, to this role. Find where they're all good at, and then you let them thrive, you let them grow. Don't just limit and squeeze them. Just like she said, she's not such a good you know, and it has nothing to do with me, it has just everything. Just let your children thrive in their individuality. You get the best of them, really. That's pretty much it.
Now in terms of you know, being able to defend themselves when they are out there, especially at a time when, you know, you have a handful of miscreants amongst youngsters, mostly young boys, who tend to either abuse these young girls out there or sort of bully them in a way. Are you doing anything in line with self-defense tactics to be able to teach them how to defend themselves in events where they need to do so?
Yes, so part of the Padded Girl program, it's so encompassing of all of those things that we say. Those from the sex education to self-defense is all part of that. However, if you check all of these sports, from the equestrian sport to the soccer to football, there's a sort of tact and discipline you have to have for you to be able to actually achieve those sports. So for you to even be able to tame a horse, it takes a lot of strength on tact for you to tame a horse. So yes, while you're doing all of that, while we're doing all of the other talking, in each training, it actually not just teaches you about the horse or about the career, but it also builds you as a person. For you to be able to tame a horse, it takes a lot of, you know, strength of the mind and physically for you to tame a horse. So yes.
And it's a statement to how much power the girl child has.
Exactly.
Because I'm imagining at her age taming a horse and whatnot. But on the place of co-education and using an experience both of us shared and experience, it was a day dedicated in a week where both young teenage girls, be them girls and boys, were given a space to interact with supervision. I know for one that played a role in shaping how I saw my colleagues, females, and being able to even build the self-esteem to be able to express myself or discuss with them. It's a subject I don't feel has really received much of the advocacy on how important it is in society. Do you think it plays a role in disabusing the minds of young boys against abusing girls?
Yes. Like I said, desensitization. Over time, gender roles have been ingrained from a very young age. That even from our primary school, you see the textbooks, they'll say boys are playing football outside while girls are washing plates or sweeping. Father is watching TV while mother is in the kitchen cooking. So we have to start from those parts, you know. We start talking to each other. And it's not, okay, it's not I hate you, where, man hating woman, girl. No. It's a part of, okay, the society will not live, it will not thrive with this way we are going. You know, you are honestly not even being helpful to yourself by not learning these life skills, you know, and then it is a burden to your counterpart, because you become codependent and too almost like you're pressing them down. So I feel like the boy child is not and should not be excluded in the society. Like you said, we had a weekly thing called IBC back in school, where boys and girls, we have to integrate, like he said. So, and supervised settings. We have to actually clear our minds of all of this over-sexualization as adults that we are projecting on children by not having them interact in that level. We as adults have over-sexualized the society so much so that we think children are doing these things. We need to start from ourselves, looking at ourselves and being examples of purity that we want to see in the society, of hard work and dedication and equality that we want to see in the society. You know, it's called a boy child if he is actually talking down on a girl child like that. Currently, we have a partner called Mr. Kabiri Dauda. He runs Let's Grow Together initiative. It's a boy child initiative where they teach the boy child social skills. They're actually having an event today on the day of the girl child, you know, so that they can integrate better with the girl child. I think that is where we're having a disconnect from the grassroots. Let us go back to the grassroots and, you know, go back to that IBC setting, seeing that, okay, boys and girls can be equal in certain spaces. Yes, physically, we cannot doubt that physically there is a disparity, but mentally, that is where it is. Mentally, can this person do this thing? Okay, fine, give it to that person. Don't just say, oh, because she's a girl or she's a boy, he's a boy, they can't do this or they should do that. That's pretty much it. So I don't know if that has covered it, but that's pretty much how I feel it is.
Well, let me come back to you now. In your stay or the period of time that you have been with, you know, your mentor here and her initiative, have you been able to figure out what exactly you want to be in the future when you probably graduate from the university and delve into the real world?
I've really thought about it, yes.
Okay. There's plenty of time.
Okay, I've thought about it a lot. Ever since she introduced me to polo at the Belham Equestrian Center,
yes,
I'm actually currently waiting for admission into the university.
Okay.
Yes, and my brother told me that school is not actually your limit. You can actually do a lot of things outside school.
Certainly.
So hopefully, I would like to continue my polo, but it doesn't mean I'll stop with my school. Yes, I want to study nursing. Yes, in school. So if I finish, I can still be shuffling the polo, and because not every time I'll be at the table. So my free times, if I'm not at the table, I'll be at work. Yes, and I also want to encourage other girls out there so that they should not just limit themselves to house chores and things the things society has led them to think. Yes. That they should think outside the box. That there are a lot of things that they can do.
I mean, anybody can do a house chore. It's a life even skill to know how to cook.
Yes.
I cook very well.
Oh, lovely.
Now, let's talk about some of the cultural norms that also impedes the potential of girl children. Okay. Particularly in the north, there is the challenge of early marriage. Now, some families, especially with the current economic situation, are now forced into giving out even underage girls into marriage. And it's at the place of having initiatives like yours that beyond just polo offer other alternatives. Is there a drive towards community engagement in some communities to also afford girls an opportunity to be part of this initiative?
Okay, so the Empower Her Choices initiative was birthed for and from a place of displaced communities. In Plateau State particularly, there are more than 17 IDP camps now because we have internally displaced people. And I think from 2021, when I launched my NGO, I was mostly focused on the Padded Girl initiative. And when I went to these IDP camps and rural communities, I see like the major problem was the pregnancy rates in teenagers. And it was really concerning because most of these fathers of these pregnancies were adult men. You'd see a 13, 15-year-old and some of them were like the IDP volunteers that are supposed to protect these girls. So yes, from the cultural part of it, we are really lacking. We're really slacking, because I see no reason why a certain age of any man or woman will even be standing and talking to a child.
Soliciting sexual favors.
Before you even get that, you know, so how are we getting to that part that you're even in good conscience saying, oh, I want to marry this child because their parents are in a financial... That's literally rape to me, you know. Why are grown men? Because I have not seen, I'm not saying there aren't, but I have not seen a grown woman clamoring to marry a small child.
A young boy.
A young boy. So it's usually men. So I don't know what the problem is. I think shame is lacking in our society. Lack of integrity and dignity, because how are you aroused by a child? How are you thinking of laying with a child that you're supposed to protect? Let's start from there, because I don't even know how to even address it around why are you marrying a child? What all of you, as even the parents, you all gathered as adults and doing that.
It's a complete degeneration of what even nature has can permit.
You get my point. So I personally, it's a big fight, you know, and like I said, even to register the name of the NGO was a problem to me, because they are saying, oh, I'm like, it's literally saying it's against underage pregnancy. But it was almost like they are fighting you. And I'm like, why are you fighting to sleep with a child? Why are you clamoring? What is the rationale behind that? You know, so me personally, I'll shame anybody that I see them. They know me around wherever I am. I'll be like, leave these girls alone. And the things we do, like I say, we build in the mentorship program, we build their esteem. These men don't love you, because if they love you, they're trying to put you against. When I was younger, I thought I was the bomb to myself, you know, and I'll be like, this man is coming towards me, this my auntie, you did not even see her, not knowing to me that this person is just a predator. He knows he cannot prey on this other woman. That's why he comes to the little girls.
Who doesn't know anything?
Who doesn't know? So I have stopped focusing on the men. Me now, I shame them. What I do now is I focus on the girl child, and I tell the girl child, you are enough. These people are way beneath you. A man that doesn't respect himself and is coming to, he doesn't have anything good to offer you. And this is not me being what am I jealous of you for? You see, they try to pit this, women supporting women, women are the biggest, and it's a lie. They are projecting their own selves onto us. And I try to build this sisterhood and say, do you know what? Don't allow these men come and take advantage of you. Because when they start doing that, you just know they're trying to remove you from a community that protects you. Yes. Don't allow it. Always have your esteem and your guard up. That's pretty much it.
Well, let's talk about international collaborations. I believe you must have sort of connected with other initiatives or agencies or foundations similar to yours, both locally and internationally. How is that coming along? And are you making any progress?
Yes, we have a few. We have Plateau State government is actually trying to look into partnering with us and boosting the initiative. Internationally, we have Why Not Her. It's in Ireland. It's an Ireland-based NGO who focuses on the girl child and the woman in general, her progress and her empowerment in the society. It's coming along very well. We get to share ideas. They get to send work materials and resources, from like sanitary towels, funding towards small running arounds that we've been doing in the project. We also have private organizations out there like Mountain Meadows. It's in North Carolina. It's like a ranch lodge that's partnered with Tryon International Equestrian Center there in the United States. So they have helped in the building of the project, the stable hand training. So yes, it's coming out nicely, and yeah, we are hoping that more indigenous NGOs and more indigenous organizations get to partner and work with us, because the NGO doesn't have like a proper, like, I wouldn't say a proper structure. We get to like partner with local businesses that do this training. So for instance, if you offer the stable hands training, we come to your organization and bring our students, you get to train them, which we are partnering with Belham Equestrian Center, Abuja, here in Karsana. And then we hope to partner with other organizations like Artville in Jos, who are doing welding and sculpting, and then Collabo Designs, who are into arts and designs, and then Blue House Technologies, who are actually going to be covering our computer literacy program. So yes, we have a few partners on board, and we're really open to all the others as well. Yes.
Well, we must thank you for taking our time to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child together with us, and we wish you the best in your sojourns.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, it's been from Router Benedict, an intending university student who in her spare time is a student under the Empower Her Choices Underage Pregnancy Preventive Initiative, and the president herself, Nukurai Martin, who, as would I say, a champion for the cause, went through teenage pregnancy, came out better, and has decided to be a mentor to young girls to forestall them, being taken advantage of by predators in that space. Well, do note that this episode is available for you to rewatch it on our YouTube channel at ADBN TV. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll be handing over to our Uyo Sports Studios for the international break preview into Nigeria's game against Libya at 5 p.m. later today. Stay with us.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steve Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanrade Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's the season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobiku Vala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
Shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV.